So welcome back to our channel, guys. So today in this video we are going to talk about how to transfer data from one application to another using Flutter. And for the server we will be building a desktop application, and for the client we will be building a mobile application. So without any further delay, let's get started. For this project you need to have a strong Wi-Fi connection, and now I have created a new project, and for the server we will be using a desktop application. And simply run your project. I have just run my project here, and in your pubspec.yaml add the get package for the state management of the application. So now let's remove all the commands and now hit Ctrl S. Let's name the title as server. Let's remove all this code and remove this floating action button. We won't be using it. Now hit Ctrl S, and let's create a new file called server.dart. Inside this file we will be creating a class of server. You need to add type definition, and you need to add that uint list callback, and the name of the parameter, the name will be function, and inside this we will be passing uint list, and let's say as data. You need to add is equal. Okay, good. Now similarly we need to add for dynamic callback too, because the error comes as in a dynamic. So let's add dynamic and dynamic. Okay, data. So now you need to define uint list callback and when on data is received, and similarly you need to add dynamic callback which will be on error. And you need to, when you declare a constructor, this has to be passed, that is on data, and this dot on error. Now you need to server socket of which can be null of server, and to track whether the server is running or not, we will be defining a variable of running, and initially we will be declaring as false. And when it comes to client side, there can be more than one client. So for that, to track how many clients, how many sockets are connected to the server, to track for that we will be adding a list of socket, and we will be declaring variable, and initially it will be an empty list. And now let's declare a future void. When the server is started initially, we need to call this function, and inside this function we need to run run zone, and in the body we need to update the server as server socket dot bind, and we need to pass the address that is 192.168.0.105, and the port number we will be using is 4000. And since it is a asynchronous function, we need to add the await before this, before calling this, and async over here. Now once it is initialized, we will be updating the running variable to true, and we will be listening the request. Whenever a request is made from the client, we need to listen that request, right? So for that we will be using a listen, and since server can be null, we need to add apostrophe after that. The event is of data type socket, so let's declare as socket. And now when some request is coming from client to the server, we need to add that socket inside this list, inside this sockets list, and we will be processing with on data. We will be processing with this on data function. So now let's check whether the sockets, whether this socket is present in the socket. So let's check over that. If it's null, then we will be adding that socket inside this sockets, else it has been already added in that list, right? So now we need to add socket dot add socket dot listen. Now you need to listen for the data which is coming, right? So this, now this event will is of data type uint list. So basically when the message is coming from the client, it is basically converted into uint list. That particular string is converted into uint list, and over here it will be decoded, means from uint 8 list to string in the server side. So now it will be listening, and when now the socket will be listening whether the data is coming from that particular socket, and if it's come it will be triggering this on data callback function, and will be passing that event inside this. And since it can be null, we need to add apostrophe over here. Now this looks a bit messy. Now let's remove this code and declare a new function called on request, and let's write on request over here too and copy paste that code. It's a void code. So now you need to define a variable called message, and let's say server is listening on port 4000. Now you need to pass this message inside this data. So initially you need to mention that server is listening on port something like that. So for this you need to simply call this on data, and inside this we will be calling uint 8 list from list, and inside this we will be passing the message dot code unit. So basically the code units will decode this encode this message as list of int, and we will be passing those list of int to this so that it will get converted into uint 8 list. So now after this, if we encounter some error, we need to simply call this on error function. Yes, that's all. So this all comes under the server class. Now let's create the controller for this application. To manage the state of the application, let's create a class of server controller extends getX controller. So now you need to initialize the server is equal to server, and now let's import this get package, and now you need to initialize this on data function and this on error function. Now let's declare the on data function, and it will be getting, you need to pass uint 8 list inside this, and let's say data, and this will be of void. This will be of void, and now, and similarly let's create a function for this error too. So void on error, so basically it's a data dynamic, and let's say error, and you might have noticed still the error exists here in this code. So let's remove. So that's because we have initialized over here. So basically over here in getX controller there is a function called on init, and you need, let's declare a server as over here, and now you can see the error has gone. So basically when we are calling this server controller, so on a very start this on this function will be executed even without calling this on init function. So now when we receive when the data is received from the client, the received data will be of uint 8 list, right? So we need to convert this uint 8 list to string. So for that you need to call the string dot from char codes, and inside this we will be passing the data, and let's store it in a variable called received data, and to store the received data let's declare a variable of data type list of strings, and we will be the variable name as server logs is equal in, let it be empty initially, and when we receive the data we will be adding those data in the server log. So let's receive data, and whenever we are updating some, when we are updating some changes in the controllers function, you need to call this update function. So you need to call this update, so it will update the state of the application. And when we receive some error, for now let's simply print the error, and let's import the material data, Now hit Control S. And over here we need to write the code for starting the server. Start server. So initially when we are calling this controller, we need to simply server dot start the server and to call this. And since it is a asynchronous function, we will be calling await and async. And let's see future of void. And now let's simply start the server when initially the server controller is executed. So now let's continue. Now let's start with the UI part. The app part. Let's remove this title which we don't require. Let's remove this server and let's define Texas server, and in the body we will be calling the get builder, which will be of server controller. And in the builder let's call this controller over here, and we will be returning a container for now. Let's check whether our app has no errors. Okay, so null check operator used on null. So for this you need to call the init state, and let's call the server controller. Now hit Ctrl S. Now we can see the error might have gone. So now after this, call a column of children and expanded. In expanded, call the padding and adjust dot insert bundling. Let's call this all, and let's give it a value of 15. And in the child, let's give it a name of server. Now hit Control S. Let's see the UI. Let's give it a style to the text of text style, and font size of 18, and font weight of, let's say, font weight or bold. Now let's create a like switch like on and off. If the server is on, it will be showing it as on. If the server is off, it will be showing it as off. Okay, so for that let's wrap this text widget inside a row, and let's say container, and let's give it a decoration box decoration of color. If the controller dot server, if the server is running, we will give the background colors as green. Let's keep it as 400, else we will give it a color of red, which will be of 400. And let's give it a padding of edges of 5, and inside the inside child we will be calling the text widget, and in text let's give it a condition of if controller dot server is if the server is running, we will be passing string as on, else it is off. Now hit Ctrl S. Now let's check that. Now you can see the server is on. Let's give it a border radius too. Border radius of, let's say, 5. Border radius dot circular, and let's main axis, I'll declare the main axis alignment as space between. Now let's check. Now let's declare the style for this text widget. Of let's declare a style text style of color as colors.white, and font weight as font weight dot bold. Now hit Ctrl S. So now after this, now let's declare a function for starting the server and for stopping the server. So for that, now let's wrap this row widget under column and minimize this row widget, and now let's call the text button widget, and when we press this on press, let's call function, and inside this we will be calling a text. If the server is running, controller dot server is running. If the server is running, we will display the text of stop server, else declare the text as start server. So now hit Ctrl S. So now let's declare the function for this when we click for stopping the server. Okay. So now when a server is already when the server is running when the server is already running, we will be closing it, else we will be starting the server, right? Okay, so let's rename this variable as start or stop server, and let's rename over here too. Now if the server is already running, we will be trying to stop that particular server. So for that, you simply need to come to the server class, and so now let's declare the function for closing the socket. So now for closing this, let's server dot simply close, and we need to add this apostrophe over here, and since it is a asynchronous function, you need to add async and await, and this will be void, will be a future void. And next, let declare this variable to null, and now let's declare running is equal to false. Let update the variable running is equal to false. So now let's hit Ctrl S, and now if the server is already running, we need to simply call server dot stop. Okay, there might be some issue. Server dot close, and we will be clearing all the server logs and call this update function, and in the main dot let's give it as controller dot start or stop server. Since it is a synchronous function, you need to call async, and wait over here, and now hit Ctrl S. Now let's go to this, click on this. Now you can see the server has off. Now when I click on that, the server has started. So now let's quickly write code for the UI, rest of the UI. So now let's declare the text editing controller for this. So for that, let's declare the text editing controller, and let's say message controller as message controller. And we will be calling this controller over here as controller dot message controller. And when we click on clear and the controller dot, when we hit on clear button, we need to clear this message controller. Still click on that, it's getting empty. Now after this, when I hit on send, we need to send to the client, right? So for that, let's start writing the code for that. When we hit on send button, we need to send to all the clients. For that, let's handle declare a function of handle message, and let's get the data as data. So now for this, you need to write the code in the server class for sending the message to all the clients, right? So for that particular for that you need to create a function of broadcast, and we will be passing the string. So for this we will be passing this string, that message inside this on data function. You int 8 list dot from list, and let's write a broadcast message as dollar data dot, we need to convert into code unit now. So now after this, so basically there will be more than one clients for sending data. If you need to send data to all the clients, you simply need to add a for loop of sockets, and let's say socket, let's name it as item socket. So now you need to simply write this message socket dot write. You need to simply write this message which is data. So broadcast message will be, so oops, that was broadcast, and we will be writing the message as socket dot write. And now over here you need to simply write broadcast, and we will be passing those data. So now I guess you need to add this data, because the text we are initialize, the text we will be sending will be from message controller. You simply need to write as message controller dot text. Now we will be adding those log inside. Now we will be adding this message inside this log too. So for that you simply need to write, server logs dot add this message controller dot txt. Now hit controller s, and let's call this update function. And now over in the main dot you need to simply write controller dot handle, controller dot handle message. Now hit control s, and now you can see, let's write text test, and when you click on this nothing gets printed. Let's you need to go to the main dot, and inside this list view you simply need to write controller dot that message, sorry, logs, server logs dot map, and mapping it to as a list. And inside this we will be passing the text widget and passing this Now hit Ctrl S. So now you can see the overall server log screen is listening in port 4000 and broadcast messages test blah blah blah. So now let's hot reload this application, and now I think we need to remove this server log from here. So now hit Ctrl S. Now let's check once again. Check this is. Now when you click on send, you can see broadcast message is test. Now in the client side we will be implementing this. So now you need to clear this test widget too. For that you simply need to add message controller dot clear. Now when you hit on here, the text in the message gets erased. So that's all for this server desktop side application. So if you like this video, please hit on the like, share and subscribe, and if you face some difficulties in this, comment in the comment section. We will be trying to solve those errors. So see you all in a very next video.